Hey friends, Greg and Stacy with Kzoo Keto, and we're coming at you with the week 1 update of the PSMF experiment. I always have to think about that before I say it.
Yeah, I still don't get it, but it stands for Protein Sparing Modified Fast.
Yes. So it's been a week.
Which means
a little over a week.
Ups the proteins and downs the fats on key days during the week.
3 days. 3 days we're doing. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So that means today is a sparing or pure protein or whatever you want to call it day. It's
My
one of the 3
stomach
days.
knows that though. Like,
I actually haven't had, it's more a morning thing. Like when I get up in the mornings, I'm hungry. But like after a while it goes away. Sometimes, most of the time. And then I'll eat lunch. And then usually when it comes around for dinner, more often than not, I'm not hungry.
See, I'm kind of hungry right now, but it's 5:30.
The first couple of days, I was hungry in the morning and I was hungry when I went to bed at night. And I was not a happy person.
No, she was not.
But I
can confirm. Can confirm.
I got used to it pretty quickly, so.
Yeah, so, you know, the first day.
First day I was really angry.
First day was rough, right? Like, I was like, let's do this. And Stacy was like, everything is wrong. This isn't good. I hate this. And she was literally on the verge of quitting. If I had been like, yeah, we could probably postpone, she'd be like, yeah, let's do that. Because even though she put all the prep in it, she realized there was a whole bunch of stuff she hadn't really sorted out. So,
yeah, it takes a lot more prep and planning than I realized. And I'm still kind of, even into this next week, I'm still kind of flying by the seat of my pants a little bit because I can't.
If you've been following us since early days of us doing keto, you probably recognize, like in the beginning, I did all the keto. Like I had everything aligned, I had everything sorted out, and Stacy was just the one that hated recording everything. But I mean, this, don't get me wrong, this is a lot harder than just normal keto. So
yeah, it is a lot more restrictive.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of you guys, probably like us, rely a lot on dairy.
Yeah, like a lot of people, when you go to keto, like cheese and dairy and nuts are like your treat in a way.
Well, they're the things that you can eat, right? Like
and eggs. Like those are like the 3 things that kind of like, they were my 3 pillars.
The 3 pillars of food, yeah.
And now I only have 1 pillar, so...
Just eggs!
And I can't even have that many of those, unless it's egg white.
Right, yes. Which we found out. There's a lot of things we've learned, too. So anyway, let's kind of get into some of the stuff and how this has gone for us. We have some really good news. You know, both of us have seen success. Yeah, seen success. So I don't think we covered in the last video, like, what our numbers and stuff like that were. Why don't you walk us through what you started with and then what you are today?
So ketones were basically like, prior to this, they were like 0.1 for the longest time. I hadn't seen anything above 0.5 in probably 2 years. I would say probably 2 years.
Maybe. Definitely a year.
More than that. It's at least 1.5 years, probably 2 years. Today I took my ketones and they were 1.1 and I about fell out of my chair.
Yeah.
And my glucose was 91, which pretty good. I mean, usually my glucose was ranging 87, 88, 89. No, you were just out. Come here. Morgan, call your brother.
Simon, come here, bud.
And then my blood pressure was a little bit higher than what it's been. It's been really like upper 90s, very, very low 100s. And today it was 107/59. I have been taking a beta blocker, I guess is what it is, for about 2 months now because of the heart palpitations that I was having. So they were trying to see if that'll help. Kind of. Maybe you need to up the dose. Maybe it's not that. I don't know. Anyway, that's supposed to lower your blood pressure, and my blood pressure was already lowered from keto. So I find it interesting that it's a little higher right now.
Mine's a little higher too, but I mean, no, it's in the good range.
It'll be something to watch as we progress throughout the rest of the month. So then the last bit of numbers is going to be, obviously everybody wants to know, what's the weight loss? So I started at 233 on Saturday last week, and as of today, I'm at 226. So it's a 7-pound loss in 7-8 days.
Yeah. Fair bit of that is water, which is kind of consistent with keto in general, right? So like your body's been regulating and everything else. So, but yeah, water, stuff like that. But hey, take it. All right, so me, ketone range usually are right around 0.2, 0.3 sometimes, but never higher than that probably for the last 9 months or so. I did continue to lose a little bit more weight even after Stacy had sort of plateaued. But then it also kind of came back. So.
Yeah, you kind of thought you were hot shit because of that.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the fact that I was like, yeah, I'm still losing. But anyway, so glucose has been right around the low 90s. But then today, taking it a week later, ketones also 1.1.
Which is strange that we're both the same, because if you remember, or if you've watched our past videos or been following us, there's a little bit of competition that went on in the beginning. So I'm not happy that it's the same. We had this whole, like, I came downstairs first and did mine, and then he came downstairs afterwards and did his, and then there were some things going on, and I was doing some stuff and he was doing some stuff, and then I was like, hey, did you do your ketones? He was like, yeah. I said, and he was like, what's yours? I was like, what's yours? No, what's yours? And it kind of went back and forth a little bit. And I was like, 1.1. And he was like, so was mine. And I'm like, argh. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no good. So glucose 90, 122/69 for my blood pressure. And weight went from 238.4 to 230.4. So 8-pound loss.
So you beat me in that, though.
Yeah, but I was higher than you. You were at 233 and I was at 238, so kind of worked.
So 5 pounds equals an extra pound loss?
I'm thinking it is. Yeah, absolutely.
That's some BS.
Absolutely.
So what did we eat this week? Saturday was kind of a mess. We were out kind of babysitting your grandpa.
That was Saturday. That was Sunday.
No, that was Saturday.
No, that was Sunday.
Was it?
Yes. Saturday was all about how the hell are we going to do this new thing? That was what Stacy was thinking.
Oh, that's right, because you ended up making me like an omelet or some eggs or something
like
that.
I was like, okay, you got to eat. You're like, I'm just not going to eat anything. It's fine.
I was just going to at it.
She was really putty. Like, I'm like, no, you just have to eat the right things and you have to figure it out, hon. So it was definitely challenging. I think the part that you really didn't see through, like you picked dinners, which is great, but those usually the easy meal.
Yeah, well, I figured it would be easier to just incorporate some kind of lunch, whatever we wanted to do, because usually you're eating lunch at a different time than I am doing throughout the week.
Yeah.
So I figured it would just be easier to figure the dinners. That way everybody's taken care of at dinner time, and then we can just do our own lunches. But it's really hard to meet these macros, because if you try to do this and it meets these 2 things, then it's going to go over on this other thing or 2 other things, and then if you try to do this other thing, it might meet 1, but it's going to go over on 3. It's a hard ass puzzle.
Which is exactly why you need to record your macros, guys.
It's hard.
Because when you just YOLO it.
Yeah, I don't think there's been one day where I've met all 4 of my macros the way I'm supposed to. I've either been under or over.
The first couple of days, we definitely went over on carbs. We went over on
I went over fats, on carbs a few days.
Fats. So we didn't start the PSMF. We didn't start that until Tuesday. So today's our 3rd day of that. But we did do it on Tuesday. We did it on Thursday.
No, I thought we counted Saturday as
we kind of did, because we kind of didn't know what to eat. And so we kind of were like...
under on everything. So.
Our fats were a little over. Our protein and our calories were kind of like in that alignment. So it was kind of weird, because she was just like, I don't want to know what to eat. But anyway.
I think he wants you.
Yeah, well, he can wait. We're busy. So we ended up... I think Stacy had like 3 different meals planned for Saturday evening, and I think we finally settled on this protein-sparing pizza crust.
Yep, protein-sparing modified fast pizza crust from Maria Emmerich.
Yeah. And it was okay.
You're wet.
Hi, buddy. It was all right. And then we were Stacy mentioned we were Papa sitting.
I thought it was a little better than okay. I was happy with it.
With pizza?
Yeah.
It was all right. It was food, and considering the fact that it happened, it was all right. But so then Sunday, this is the recipe we're gonna lose because it was like, what'd you call it? Hot chicken water. There was like this zesty. What was it called? Zesty Fiesta chicken soup.
There was no zest.
It was
literally.
You
hot
had it
chicken
again
water.
as a leftover too, right?
Yes, I did.
It was better then.
Better, but it was still kind of hot chicken water.
Hot chicken water.
And for those of you that have seen Arrested Development and remember the hot ham water episode, this was hot chicken water.
Hot chicken water. It was not good.
Yeah.
And it was pretty carby too, considering like what
it actually was
because of the tomatoes and
so we're not going to share that recipe because we're not recommending it. But most of the other ones I believe we'll put in the description box below. We'll share a link to them.
Yep.
Monday we did Sloppy Joe's, which is another Maria Emmerich. I think that's what most of our recipes are is Maria Emmerich.
I don't think the zesty chicken soup was though. Like,
no, that was something else. Okay. That was some random on the internet thing.
Yeah.
And I made the PSMF buns that looked like white brains.
Got a picture of those?
And I think I do.
So they're supposed to be buns, but I kind of made it like an open face thing, and I just ate it with a fork because the buns were...
Yeah, I just kind of tore mine up and threw it
out. I think you have a tip on that, right? Like, because a lot of times these sugar alternatives...
Yeah, so the first time I made the PSMF bread, I used a 1-to-1 ratio of... We didn't have allulose, so I used our monk fruit, Lakanto monk fruit erythritol, 1-to-1. And that is more sweet than allulose is. So when I made the bread, I could taste it in the bread, and I didn't really dig it. I also I don't think I whipped it long enough. The egg whites, because it had a very like couch cushion foam texture to it. It was not good. I ended up throwing both loaves away. But then I made the buns. Well, I made the pizza crust, and that was good. Like, yeah, way better.
Yeah, it was alright.
And then I made and I didn't put any sugar in it. And then I made the buns. I didn't put any sugar. I say sugar, but you know what I'm talking about. I didn't put any in that. And they were not as couch cushiony, but they still had a bit of couch in them.
They were foamy. Yeah,
so
I mean, they were...
I actually ended up in a bid to use them up. I ended up taking some and like using a rolling pin to flatten them out with some of my dinners and making them like a little toast.
Butter biscuit, right?
Yeah, and I flattened it and I threw it in the toaster oven and then threw some butter on it, and it was palatable that way.
Still tasted like styrofoam.
Yeah, with the Sloppy Joes, and the Sloppy Joe is actually kind of carby too.
Yeah, I mean the tomato sauce is going to be kind of carby, but yeah.
So I would like to figure out a way to make that a little less carby if possible. Tuesday, we still had those damn buns.
Stacy tricked me with tomato sauce and pepperoni on top of them. Made them little mini pizzas.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I flattened them out and I made them into little mini pizzas. Wednesday, I don't know what I had for lunch. Tuesday was a protein sparing day. So for lunch we did, I think I just did tuna out of the can. Again, like I did on Sunday.
I thought we did the wraps.
We didn't do the wraps until Wednesday. Because we forgot about it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I bought them. So I was smart. I bought the egg wraps.
The crepinis. We are looking for the Egg Life, but we use Instacart, and the stupid store, Meijer store, that is closest to us doesn't seem to carry them. So we're going to have to actually go out and get them.
Yeah, well, I think they carry them. They just are out of stock or something. So.
Or it could be that because of all things, both Sam's and Costco are out of chicken today.
Yeah, that was weird. So.
Whatever. So yeah, the lunch for me on Tuesday was a couple cans of tuna and maybe a slice of bacon. I can't remember. Wednesday,
turkey bacon.
Yeah, turkey bacon.
She calls it
Wednesday-
real bacon. It's not real bacon.
It's real bacon to me. We both had the wraps for lunch, so we did the.
I made you one, right? Like,
yeah,
I made
you did make it for me because I was super busy and it didn't come down.
Yeah, so
till late. But
I'm like, I'm gonna make these wraps, so I just put a piece of cheese on it, and so yeah, and those actually work really good. So
turkey deli meat.
Yeah, so the turkey deli meat that we find, we get it at Costco, or there's a version we get it at Sam's. But just looking in Carb Manager for the wraps and stuff, you know, we can have 2 wraps, 12 slices of turkey breast. I add about a half a tablespoon of mayo to each side.
Non-protein days.
No, this is on protein days.
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't doing it.
No, I had to cut my amount back a little bit because of the fact that this does have a lot of fat. And then for today, I spiced it up a little bit. I added some chopped pickled jalapeno peppers in it too. But I mean, for all that, it's like 513 calories and 3 carbs. So like,
it's not bad.
That's pretty good. So that's kind of the recipe that we've kind of figured out. Is this is probably a good lunch for those days.
Yep.
And it fills you up, like, so it's good.
And that's 2 wraps.
And that's 2 wraps, yeah. So that's.
So you're not doing 12 slices on one wrap.
No, six slices on each wrap, yeah.
All right. So we probably should. Maybe we'll take a picture of that next week and include it in next week's video.
Rolled up.
Oh, do you have a picture of it? All right, we'll drop that here. Oh, so then for dinner Wednesday, we made a recipe. It's another random recipe from the internet.
Well, it wasn't exactly right because, like, Stacy's like, we're gonna have this, I think, Tuesday. And
yeah,
she was like, "Oh, you have to marinate the chicken for a couple hours."
An hour.
An hour. Which,
and I didn't start making dinner until like 6 o'clock on Tuesday.
And so she's like, "Well, that's not gonna work."
That's why we ended up with the mini pizzas.
Right. So then she's like, well, what about I'll do this tomorrow? But I was on calls. I was busy all afternoon, and she had to use the food processor or whatever for I don't know, for whatever she was doing. She
no,
didn't
I
want
had
to
to pound the chicken.
Pound the chicken. She didn't want to make a lot of noise. So when I was finally done with work, I was like, what? And so she's like, yeah, I couldn't do the thing because you were on the calls and stuff. So we ended up doing it like sous vide style. So we took the marinade and I just put it in with the chicken. I pounded it flat and we loaded it up with the peppers and stuff. And I added a little bit of cream cheese to mine because it was not a protein sparing day. So I added a little cream cheese to mine and I added some ham to it, Canadian bacon. And I rolled them all up and everybody really liked them because I sous vide them in my little pot.
They were really good. So it's strips of bell peppers.
Yeah.
And then there's a marinade that you make and you put it on the chicken and then put the bell peppers in it and you roll it up and you're supposed to bake it, but we did the sous vide and then we finished it off with a broiler in the oven and they were really good. Like, kids really dug it and everything.
Yep. So then that was a really good protein sparing meal.
I unfortunately didn't get a picture of that because it looked so good. I just dug right in.
Yeah. If you do have a sous vide, I'd say about 155, 160 for about an hour. And then finish them up in the broiler in your oven, and boom, delicious.
So another thing, so then Thursday, our lunches at this point, basically the same thing the rest of the week.
I had eggs. I had like scrambled eggs.
Well, mine, because I was taking the easy route.
Yeah.
Thursday's lunch was,
Thursday's lunch was the wraps.
Thursday was leftovers.
Thursdays was leftovers we did the wraps for lunch because it was sparing day.
Yes.
And then dinner was leftovers
for dinner.
From whatever our macros would allow us to have is what our leftovers were. I had sloppy joes.
I think that's when I had the soup again and I was like, yeah, no.
I had bunless sloppy joes.
Friday for dinner we made the meatball subs that are another Maria Emmerich recipe. And they're good. And I made the protein sparing buns. And this time I used the erythritol, the Lakanto monk fruit, and I used a little less this time because I remembered that it's sweeter than allulose, so I used a little less, and I got to actually whip the egg whites longer than what everybody else was letting me, because the first time I did it, I had my kid telling me, you're doing it for too long. The second time, I had him telling, you're doing it for too long. So this time I did it, and it worked out better. So those two need to just meh.
I don't know if that's true.
Anyway, so they turned out better. They're soft. They actually browned a little bit. They weren't these literally
They
white
weren't
Wonder
terrible.
Bread.
They were terrible.
And they tasted good.
I was able to cut it in half, and we ate it. And I had a keto chow for lunch that day. So
Oh yeah,
kinda
because you went out to your grandpa's.
worked out pretty well with my macros and stuff because it was not a sparing day. But
And then we had Nate over too yesterday, and he said it was. I mean, he didn't eat the
he ate the bud, but
he ate the meatballs, and the kids like the meatballs. But I would like to. I had a meatball recipe I was using that used almond flour and other things. I would like to try and maybe see if I can convert that one a little bit to protein sparing because I really like that recipe.
Well, you can't use almond flour, right?
I know,
Too carby.
but I think she uses coconut flour in some things, so
Okay.
but that may not work. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Pork
Maybe
rinds?
that acacia
About pork
fiber
rinds.
powder.
About pork rinds.
We could do pork. Yeah, we could do
Pork rinds might
pork
work.
dust.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
Why, thank you.
Because we have that, yeah, okay. So then tonight, we're going to do,
Basically taco bowls.
yeah, I mean, how much easier does it get than to brown up some ground beef and throw in some taco seasoning and then throw it in a bowl with some shredded lettuce? Because you know the lettuce is like nothing.
Yeah, just water. Well, there's carbs to it.
It's just, it's iceberg lettuce. There's no carbs.
There's carb.
There's no carbs.
There's carb.
There's
Carb. Look it up. It's on the package. I saw it.
no, I don't believe
And
that.
your kid opened it too. She got some of it.
I
before
saw that.
school. Using my phone, huh?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It's easier and within reach.
Please stand by. Stacy's snooping on the phone. Just look at... All you gotta do is go into Carb Manager and add it.
0.2.
No, it's more than that. For one leaf, it's 0.2.
Can I add something about the lettuce?
What?
It was really good.
It's iceberg lettuce. How is it
It's
really
not
good?
It's
Like,
it's garbage.
it was crunchy, but not like soggy at all. And it smelled good. And it tasted really good.
one medium leaf or 8
It was like-
grams is
Chef's kiss.
1 calorie and 0.2 carbs. So if you're having a salad, I suggest more than just a single leaf, guys. Just saying.
Anyway, that's what we're doing. And then for lunch today, I did the wrap.
The challenge with that, I did 2 wraps, but the challenge with that is going to be the cheese.
No, I didn't do the wrap. I used one of the buns. I did.
Oh,
Hey, that's my sleeve. I did 2 buns actually with the last 7 slices of turkey meat that was left in
7.
that package.
Oh, 7, huh?
There were
I
7
see.
left in the package.
It's because I was out of Canadian bacon.
And I did a piece of cheese divided between the 2.
Yes.
And I put it in the toaster. I wrapped it up in foil, put it in the toaster oven, and that seems to be the best way to do the leftover buns.
I'm actually thinking that I might take the taco meat and put it
on a
inside one
bun?
of those wraps.
Oh, I had a thought of putting it on one of the buns.
Because I found that if you toast them in the oven, they become
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
stronger. No, not a toaster oven. We've been rolling them up and put them in the toaster oven.
Oh, you're toasting it
flat, toast the stuff on top of it, let the little bit of cheese that I had down there melt, and then I put the lettuce on top, put maybe a little bit of salsa or hot sauce or something, and then I'll roll it up. Gonna give it a go.
I kind of like that idea. That's interesting.
Gotta give it a go.
It's almost, you can almost make a burrito.
That's the idea.
Like, you could just make a burrito.
Right. Nice small burrito.
Cook it on the stovetop.
You could, but it's not real pliable initially, so it kind of rips. So if you heat it up, it seems to be a little bit more friendly. But
Okay.
at least the one we get anyway. I think all the ones, the egg, whatever they are. The ones,
Egg wraps.
No.
That I would like to
egg,
get.
What?
Egg wraps. Egg life.
Egg Life, yes.
Those are thicker. Because we did have those once before. I
Yeah.
did find them at Meijer or Walmart. I can't remember. But I had the everything bagel ones.
Yeah,
and
these
I
are
got
like
the plain
super,
ones.
super thin, like crepe.
That's why they're called crepini?
Yeah, they're really, really thin.
Crep something.
Something. A lot of crap. There's crap. But that's it. We've been kind of monoing on here, but overall, it's got easier. We are progressing. We're hoping these ketone levels are going to push us into more weight loss, and we're keeping with it. So if you guys started anything new this year, New Year's resolution, anything, getting back on the bus, you know, let us know in the comments like how it's going for you. Did you find it hard? Was it easy? Because I think for us, I mean, I was pretty energized like the first couple of days.
Sorry, I got a dog biting my ankle.
I was pretty energized the first couple of days, like psyched, because get back to some of the basic stuff and not just kind of grazing, so to speak. But
yeah, and in addition to that, I know there's a few people that said they were going to do this right along with us. So I would love to know what your progress is, how it's working for you, what new recipes have you found, which ones do you like, which ones should we stay away from? Anybody else that's done this in the past or is currently doing this? Same thing. What should we stay away from? What do you like? Do you have any tips for making anything better? I did get a lot of tips on watching Indigo Nilly or Neely, I can't remember which it is, and I have watched a few of her videos on the bread, so that's where I was like, oh, that's why I need the allulose, because that's what helps it brown. So we got the allulose today. I did see a recent video that she just released that's talking about acacia fiber powder, so I put the researcher on that, and we'll find out some more about that, and maybe we can report back on it next week.
yeah, media.
Forgot the pudding.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's true. So the other thing that we have experimented with is egg protein pudding.
Hard-boiled egg
turned into pudding. And it is surprisingly decent.
Yeah, the first time when I saved it at first, but then I was like scrolling back through recipes and I'm like, nah, delete, got rid of it. And then I was like, okay. I saw, because Maria Emmerich has a keto Facebook group and I'm in it, so I see a lot of people that were going on about it. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So we made it and I was like, yeah, I don't know about this, but somebody said let it sit overnight in the fridge. So we let it sit overnight and we had it the next day and it was like, holy crap. There's no eggy flavor, there's no eggy smell. It's not, definitely not a pudding, depending on what recipe you use.
It feels like a pudding.
But I found a recipe that was for peanut butter, and it uses peanut butter collagen powder, which we don't have yet, but we will in a few days. We have chocolate collagen powder, so that's what I made it with, and it's good. The chocolate collagen powder, I was using this brand. This is what I was getting on Amazon. This has, for 1 scoop, it is 2 carbs. Protein sparing. You know that extra carbs are like a thing, right? So the people at Authentic Keto reached out to us recently and asked if we would try their chocolate collagen powder for a review. And, you know, we like to try new things, and if you haven't watched our last review video, I like to give my opinion.
Yes, she does. I get it all the time.
And it's it's chocolate collagen powder, which I have been using this for quite some time now throughout keto. I don't use it every day, but it's kind of like a every here and there. Lots of times I'll mix it with like macadamia nut milk or almond milk. I don't think I've ever done it with straight water because I feel like that would not be good, but
might be. I don't know. I tried it with coffee. It was pretty decent.
With coffee?
That version. I tried that. I didn't really like that one, but this one's a little better.
With the marigold coffee that we did that review too. I put this in it and it was good. We've been out of it for a little bit. Trying to kind of back off the caffeine, heart palps and shit. Probably shouldn't have said shit, but whatever. Anyway, so we tried this with the pudding and it works pretty well. Like the taste is good. And I haven't had it yet in any kind of milk because I haven't figured out a way to really work that in right now. But I will probably figure that out before the end of this. If not, after we're done with this after the end of January. But I definitely recommend going out and trying this if you're looking for a new one or if you're looking for one to try. I am no longer buying this kind. I'm buying this kind because this one is 1 carb for 1 scoop, and the scoops are the same size. So 2 carbs or 1 carb, what are you choosing?
Depends on the flavor, which it wins to. So, but yeah, so that's, I guess, a mini review for the product And also...
Thank you to Authentic Keto.
Yes, thank you. And works out great. And the pudding was good. So if you haven't tried it, you've been kind of weird like Stacy and like deleting it, give it a go. Give it a try.
Yeah,
it's
it actually
quite good.
it works.
We've experimented a couple more things with that, and as she's mentioned, we're getting the peanut butter stuff. So
yep, we did
kind of looking forward to that.
We did a version with heavy cream, which was the first one we did, and then we did a version with coconut milk. And if you don't like the taste of coconut, I wouldn't use the coconut milk. I did not like it prior to keto, but now I'm a little more used to it. So it doesn't bother me. It's not my favorite. I would rather use the heavy cream, which is probably what I'll do going forward after a couple other experiments with flavors. Because we're thinking the peanut butter will overpower the coconut a little more than chocolate.
The one thing with the heavy cream is it does have more fat though. So
yeah.
be mindful of that. So
harder on the protein sparing, pure protein, whatever the one day.
The coconut one, I think you could probably eat on the even sparing days if you wanted to, because the fact that its numbers are pretty low, and the calories are pretty low too. So, but yeah, that's it for us today, guys. This is our first update. We got another update coming at you next week, and we'll let you know how week 2 goes. So best of luck to you on your journey, and as always,
stay keto.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Hey friends, it's Greg and Stacy here with Kzoo Keto. Hey friends, Greg and Stacy with Kzoo Keto, and we are coming with Friday's dinner. We made Friday for dinner.
Hey, stop it.